Hello, everyone. Well, today is the last day. This is the last day of the Festival of the Maiden is today. And just for the Festival of the Maiden, I've been focusing this year on a moral compass. And I wanted to comment on some events recently that showed a definite lack of a moral compass. So I'm going to share this with you, and you can decide for yourself whether or not these individuals had a moral compass and what their moral compass guided them to do. So, first of all, I'm going to discuss Alexander Mercurio. Alexander Mercurio was an 18-year-old from Idaho. So he's just reached manhood, and he was plotting to shoot up a bunch of churches. Why? Why was he going to shoot up a bunch of churches in Idaho? Because he's a member of ISIS. How did he become a member of ISIS? Was he born into Islam? No. No, he wasn't born into it. In fact, he took up ISIS only as a form of rebellion against his parents. He had a picture of himself with the ISIS flag behind him, making a gesture with his fingers to show his allegiance to ISIS. And so he became an allegiant of ISIS, and he said that he wanted to cause havoc and chaos and mass havoc. And so he wanted to, or fear, he wanted people to be afraid of him. And so he wanted to cause mass panic and chaos and havoc, in these churches. And he said he called them, what did he call them? I think he called them, it wasn't infidels, but it was something similar. It was an insult. It was an insult to Christians. And so this guy got taken out by the FBI. They arrested him before he could do anything. He was planning on beating up his father, tying his hands behind his back and putting him in handcuffs, and his father in handcuffs, and then he was going to steal his keys and get into the closet and get the guns, and then he was going to take his father's car out with the guns and shoot up a bunch of churches. And he was also armed with a lead pipe and a knife. So he was ready, and he wanted to pour gasoline all over the churches and then set a fire and or set off some bombs, and he was going to wear a vest with explosives in it and blow himself up when he was done. And he planned on being a martyr. That was his word, that he was going to be a martyr for ISIS. It's just, he doesn't have a moral compass at all. It's just terrible. It's just terrible and he just wanted to rebel against his parents. That's all he wanted, was to get back at his parents, probably his dad, since he was targeting his dad. Terrible, terrible son. Wanted to join ISIS and shoot up a bunch of churches and cause death and destruction in those churches. No moral compass at all. So we'll move on to the next one. What else has been in the news? There's been Eid. Eid is it's a Muslim holiday. Eid. It's celebrating breaking the fast of Ramadan for the Muslims. And at an Eid celebration just today, there was a mass shooting. And it was two groups that were hostile to each other shooting it out at the Eid celebration. Hundreds of people ran for their lives. They were scrambling, running for their lives. They left behind beach towels and water coolers and all sorts of stuff, sunglasses, everything was scattered all over the ground. And the Eid festival ended on a sour note because there was two groups that were hostile to each other shooting it out, probably gangs. Probably the gangs showed up for the Eid celebration. And while the gangs were there, they decided to shoot at each other. And so people nowadays have no regard for proper usage of firearms. Okay, they do not use their firearms properly. They shoot indiscriminately in all directions. Okay, they just go rat to tat to tat to tat to tat and shoot in all directions. They have no consideration at all for human life, and they have no restraint in their use of weapons. So because they have no restraint in their use of weapons, they listen to all those rap songs about murder and murder by numbers. And that's not a rap song, Murder by Numbers. That's the Police. Sting, I think it is. So, but yeah, there's these rap songs where they glorify shooting out and drive-bys. I mean, that's what did it. That's why there's no regard for human life and why there's these mass shootings now. I hate to tell you this. I hate to be the bearer of bad news and break it to you, but that you can't live with that kind of music in the popular music and expect. And now we have Snoop Dogg. I heard he's on tour. Snoop Dogg. And he was one of the ones responsible. Was NWA was responsible for these bad rap songs where they encourage people to go on drive-bys and do mass shootings and kill all their enemies, kill, and join gangs and kill. So it's no conscience at all. No conscience at all. In the metro area of Minneapolis today, there was a shooting. They shot a couple of sheriff's deputies that were serving a warrant, and I don't know all the details, but they were serving a warrant, and this guy opened fire, and a bunch of police responded to the scene. They had it roped off, and was a complete fiasco. So why did this person do this? Why did he? Because they were serving him a warrant, he was going to shoot the messenger, and now he's either dead. I heard he was dead, but maybe he's not dead. I'm not sure. Not sure if he's dead or not. I heard he was dead, but maybe that was a mistake. No conscience. No conscience at all. Just indiscriminate shooting. And all of this shooting it starts up here in the mind. Starts in the mind, and it travels down the arm to the gun, and then the finger pulls the trigger. So it starts in the mind. And even if that guy hadn't gotten his father's guns, he still could have done a lot of damage to people with his knife and his lead pipe. Mercurio again. He could have done some serious damage to people, and it's because he had no moral compass. So, like I said before, what constitutes a moral compass? Well, you have to think to yourself, is it right to kill people over religion or over gang affiliation or any of the other reasons they come up with for killing people? And the answer is no. No, there's no justification for killing people because of their affiliations, whether it's a gang related affiliation or their church membership or their religion, their religious. There's no justification for it. You can't justify it. So if you can't justify it, then you know that it's wrong. You know it's wrong. So if these shootings continue, then they will find a way to take away people's guns. I'm not saying they should take away people's guns, but I'm saying that they will find a way to take away the guns eventually. Because the situation cannot hold, the center cannot hold, something has to change. And I wonder if the founding fathers were alive today, if they would agree to freedom to bear arms. I wonder if they would still agree with that because of the way people behaving chaotically and behaving without a conscience. It's just bad behavior all around. Bad guys. It's like the Wild West, only worse because not everyone is armed. Most people who are good law-abiding citizens, most of them aren't carrying guns because guns are banned most places. So if they had any chance of stopping a mass shooter, they don't have that chance because they're not armed. So is the solution for everyone to be armed? I don't know, but all I know is that those deputies were armed and they still got shot. So it didn't stop the shooter from shooting at them, the fact that they were armed. So that is a kind of a key indicator right there, just a key indicator that maybe being armed isn't enough to stop these mass shooters from doing damage. Because, these deputies are trained in firearms and they're trained to use a gun, and they still got shot at. And they got shot at first because they have the most dangerous job in the world, which is to serve warrants to criminals. And they got shot. Even though they were trained in the use of firearms and owned a firearm and had a firearm, they got shot because he shot first and then they shot second. So you can see how that works, right? Anybody who has a gun can shoot someone, especially if they're suicidal. They can shoot someone and get away with it, that the other person shoots back, or doesn't shoot back, depending on whether they have a gun or not. But they can still do some damage with the element of surprise. Wasn't like the sheriffs had the option. It wasn't like the sheriffs had the option of shooting him first before he got a chance to shoot them. Wasn't like that. That he had the element of surprise was he had the legal system is geared toward only punishing after the fact, after the damage has been done. So the damage couldn't have been prevented unless someone had raised him not to shoot at people indiscriminately or so it's just a question of if parents aren't going to do their job and it looks like they're not going to do their job, giving their children a moral compass. If they're not going to do their jobs, then eventually people will come for the guns and take them away from the general populace, and then only the police will be armed. That's going to happen. It's going to happen even if you feel very strongly about your love of guns and feel very strongly that people should have the right to bear arms. They're going to take that right away. They're going to take it away because of these mass shootings that are constantly happening. It's going to get to the point where everyone knows someone that was in a mass shooting. That's where it's headed toward. And it won't even make the news anymore because it'll be happening every single day, every single corner of the country. And that is not good. That's not good at all. So, in conclusion, we wish people had a moral compass, but we can't force them to have a moral compass if they don't want to have a moral compass. Can't force people to do anything against their will. And people are just going to do what they feel like. So we're going to have to take precautionary measures to make sure that people are safe and that people are not going to be safe if there's a land invasion. If there's a land invasion of our country, we're going to want everyone to and his brother to be armed so that they can fight off a foreign invader. That was the purpose of the right to bear arms. It was to fight off foreign invaders and to have everybody ready in case there was a foreign invasion, to fight off any foreign invaders. That was the purpose, and that purpose still holds today. But with these mass shootings, it doesn't look good for gun owners. It doesn't look good for them, and it looks like they're going to take the guns away. Somehow, somewhere, some way, they're going to give police the unenviable job of taking those guns away. So that's it. You guys have a great holiday. Enjoy the Festival of the Maiden. Treat a kid in your life to something fun. Do something fun with them, like take them to the park, to the playground, or take them to a play place and let them have some fun today, because the maiden is a child at heart. I'm Sarah Jane Alphawolf signing off. You guys have a terrific week, and take care.